Yo, it's Stuart. Today we're going to be talking about job searching strategies. But we're not just going to be talking about strategies. We're going to be taking a deep dive into the reasons behind the strategies and the type of mental preparation that each strategy requires for you to find the job that you want. Job searching can be overwhelming, and I know this firsthand. I've been there. I had to do it a handful of times, especially because I decided to work in the startup world where the job is exciting and purposeful, but it can definitely be unpredictable at times, as you can imagine. In the design world, there are so many different types of roles, and even for a specific role, I've seen many different flavors of it. Not only that, you can work in many different industries and you could work for many different types of companies. So where do you begin? How do you start thinking about this? And what types of actions should you be taking? From my experience and from watching my friends go through it as well, I see two main strategies that you can employ. Fundamentally, I believe that anyone, literally anyone, with enough time and concerted effort can get a job. So in my mind, that's really not the problem. I think the problem is finding the job that really fits you well. And when I say fit, I mean holistically fit. I mean the job or career track that is going to align with who you are as a person, how you think, how you learn, and a job and career track that will help you stay motivated in a sustainable way so you could keep at it and make it a passion and not just a transaction. So the first strategy is casting a wide net. And if this strategy sounds obvious to you, it's because it is. But I don't think people truly understand the game that they're playing when they instinctually go for this strategy. So the game here is the numbers game. And you may or may not want to be playing this game. So let's start off with the good part of this. If you don't know what you really want, then this is an excellent way to start finding out. You're going to be spreading yourself out wide across different industries, types of companies, types of design roles, and the conversations that arise from this is going to help you figure out where you fit with best. The other good part is that you're probably going to have a good flow of interviews and job leads with very little dead time in between, which is going to be awesome for morale. I mean, you're going to feel like you're really progressing and that you have the win right behind you. So here's the flip side. You probably will have a good pipeline of different job opportunities and interviews. However, to get to that point, you're going to have to put in a lot of extra effort to tailor your resume, your portfolio, and cover letters for those specific roles. And because they're probably going to be disparate opportunities, you need to put in that extra level of care and time into making sure that it actually makes sense for where you're applying to. The other part is to note that, yeah, you may have a very good pipeline of different jobs and interviews, but the chances are only a small percentage of those are going to be a fit for you. So you're casting wide, but your hit rate is probably very, very low. And hit rate being the ones that will be a true fit for who you are and what you're going after. When you do start getting those offers in, which is going to be awesome, but it's going to be a lot of work to try and figure out which one is the right fit for you because it'll be hard to assess and compare them. I mean, it's like comparing apples and oranges. One time, I had to compare a startup healthcare company where I'd have a full-time role with a freelancing role for a global financial services company. Now, they were so on different ends of the spectrum that it became really difficult to assess where I would want to be. So it takes a lot of effort, the diligence, the grit, and the thoughtfulness to do all that, but you really need to take the time to do that. So in summary, when you're casting a wide net, remember that only a small percentage of the opportunities that you're going to be seeing are probably a right fit. So you need to have the patience to not say yes to the very first one. You need to create the space for you to sit and be patient and assess each opportunity and be thoughtful about it. So strategy number 2 is casting a rod. I don't love the name, but if we stick with the fishing analogy, I think it's appropriate, so bear with me. So with this approach, you're saying that you know what you want and you're going after that and that only. It's extremely focused, it's niche, it's efficient in many ways, but you need to be able to wait it out. So it could be a specific design role, a specific industry or type of company culture, or some combination of those three, but you're limiting yourself or you're constraining your search to whatever those parameters are. So here's the good part. So in terms of putting in the effort to tailor your resume, your portfolio, and cover letters, you can imagine it doesn't take as much effort as if you were trying to cast a wide net. Your story is going to be singular, it's going to be coherent, and whoever's listening to it is going to understand you a lot better. So here's the flip side that you have to be aware of. You're probably going to have a lot of dead time between each job or interview. And it makes sense, right? Because your world is a little smaller and you're taking targeted shots, you're not going to have as many opportunities or many chances as someone who is doing the other strategy, casting the wide net. So you need to be able to mentally and financially last and be able to ride this out. The other part, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but this takes tremendous amount of work. You need to be very self-aware and truly understand what you are about and what you can bring to the table. And that takes a lot of work. So if you haven't done that work already, this strategy is just going to crumble. I sort of wanted it to end right there, but after I told you that strategy number 2, casting the rod, crumbles if you don't understand who you are and what you want, I sort of felt bad. So I probably owe you guys a video or a series of videos on how self-awareness for me has been truly impactful for my life and career. So I will put that on my to-do list of things to do, but still, let's put a bow on this strategy number 2. Expect more gaps between your job leads and your job interviews. This is going to cause some anxiety, but trust the process, trust yourself, and work on developing the discipline to stay the course. It'll totally be worth it, I promise. You may even need to financially prepare to make sure that you're able to last through a longer period. Although anecdotally, people who do strategy number 2 tend to get jobs faster, but I also have seen people who take a lot longer too. So maybe it's more on the extremes rather than in the middle. And it's okay that you reevaluate who you think you are, what you think you want, and where you think you're going. Just don't go rogue because 1 or 2 employers just didn't get back to you. If your story is compelling, if your story is singular and is coming from a true place, I have no doubt in my mind that you will find the place somewhere, a true fit somewhere. So let me end this video by repeating what I mentioned early on, is that I fundamentally believe that anyone, literally anyone with enough time and concerted effort will find the job. So that is not the problem. The problem is creating the space, creating the environment and circumstances for you to be able to think clearly, to have the right opportunities in front of you, and have the patience for you to make good, thoughtful decisions on where to go. So I hope this helps. I'll see you next week.